Julia Budd, thanks for joining us today. Big fight coming up, PFL 2, April 7th, against I guess I want to call her the champion, Larissa Pacheco, but obviously this is a new weight class, kind of a new ball game. So I wanted to start kind of with the season format. First of all, I mean, is this a benefit? This is kind of a new start, fresh start, forget everything that happened last year. Is that kind of how you look at this?
Yeah, absolutely. Last year it was like obviously the 155-pound season didn't go as planned for me. I was out after that first fight and um, yeah, so basically I'm looking at this year as a brand new fresh start and I can't wait to get in there.
And like I said, getting the champ, albeit in a new weight class, you're both moving down. Do you like getting that
Mhm.
right out of the gate? Because on paper, this should be the toughest fight, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. It motivates me. I made a lot of changes this year, and I found out about the fight in about January, but I was already getting in shape and getting ready for the season, anticipating uh, a, a fight like this right away. So
You mentioned making a lot of changes this year. What have you changed up? What's new in the training and the prep this time out?
So in January, so I've spent about 8 weeks down at Fight Ready in Arizona. That's where I've done the majority of my camp and just kind of getting out of my comfort zone. Yeah, so back home, I own our gym with my husband, um, and we're just for the last well for my whole fight career. It's just been basically him and his son training me, and it's been a lot, especially as like his son Lance Gibson Jr.'s career has been taking off and getting more and more serious. And we just kind of realized we needed some help, and I needed to kind of like get out of the comfort zone, get a new look at everything, and that's kind of what 2023 is all about. Kind of a restart, rebirth, so to speak.
And Lance Gibson Jr., of course, very successful in Bellator. What
Yeah.
about Fight Ready drew you there? Because they've been getting a lot of attention of late.
Yeah, just the coaching staff, the athletes, it's been super motivational. Like just watching like Henry Cejudo training for his upcoming fight, seeing the discipline, how serious he takes it, and just like, oh, like, okay, so the level of training and I guess just being there and then everybody else, like all the training partners that I've met and started training with as well. It's just been it's definitely been challenging, totally out of my comfort zone, like I said, and learning from them and their coaching staff has been excellent. So,
Well, good stuff. I don't think anybody really stays with one gym these days. There's always a little bit of cross training going on. Um, Now you got the focus, like we said, on Larissa. What did you make of her performance against Kayla Harrison? You know, that third meeting, a lot of people had written her off. She comes back and wins the season.
yeah, I knew like after spending that much time in the cage together, they both like they'd already done what was it, 10, 10 over an hour together in the cage almost, or an hour together. Um, so seeing the changes that she made, I actually was shocked when I was rewatching it. I think Kayla was winning the stand up. I thought that was kind of interesting. I was like, oh, like she was actually landing and how Larissa was winning on the ground exchanges and with her jujitsu and her grappling. So I was kind of when I rewatched it, I was like, I saw a lot more. It was a really close fight. I actually saw how close of a fight it was, but um, just yeah, I thought she did great.
And having seen that performance, I mean, how do you apply that to your fight coming up? What are you expecting to see from Larissa this time around?
I expect her to bring it. I expect her to be like obviously she's coming down in weight to 145. Um, I'm imagining she wants to be the champ at this division too. But I've just really focused on myself and developing myself and bringing out my very best, training, being extremely disciplined for this camp, implementing a ton of new stuff and hitting new levels in every area of my game so that I can bring out my very best. So I'm expecting her to bring her best, and I'm definitely bringing my best.
Well, I did speak to her just over a week ago now, I think. She did talk about, what it would mean to win a second title in a new weight class and be kind of the first person in the PFL to do that. For yourself, obviously you held gold in Bellator. What would it mean to have a second title and a second major promotion to you?
It's what my goals are. That's what my eyes are set on. One step at a time. Obviously, this fight is like I know about her power, her knockout power. I've been watching all of her fights, studying her. It's definitely a fight that wakes me up in the morning and gets me bringing my best to every single training session. So, um, I mean, I'm sure it's important to both of us, but I put in a hell of a lot of work for this, and I plan on showcasing that on April 7th.
And we've talked about it a little. This is coming at featherweight. We're launching featherweight in the PFL this year. Larissa has missed weight before, actually for lightweight in the past. Is there any concern there, first of all? And do you feel, with your history at featherweight, that maybe this plays into your hand a little?
Well, she fought at 25 too, so like she's kind of fought at all weight classes. Um, I mean, I mean, it is what it is. I'm going to be making weight. This is my weight division. This is a way better weight division for me than 55. Like to be honest, that first fight that I got, Jenna weighed in at 180 fight week. That's who I was up against. I was up against a freaking almost a middleweight in my first fight, and I'm walking around at 154, like barely cutting. I wasn't cutting weight for 55, and so seeing my size disadvantage in that first fight and that's just really not my weight class. I never kind of settled there. 45 is where I'm at, where I'm better. I'm the strongest. Yeah. So this is my weight class. Uh, I can't be worried about what she's going to do or lack of professionalism or if there's going to be lack of professionalism there. But I just got to make sure I make weight. I do my job and I get in there and I do my absolute best. So that's what I'm focused on.
Absolutely. Now, you did have the fight in the fall with Aspen Ladd. Didn't go your way, and like we said, this is a fresh start. But were you glad just to get in there, to get back to 145, to get a feel for things again, and to not be off as long as you would have been otherwise?
Yeah, like it was definitely an experience getting in, fighting in Madison Square Garden. I was a little pissed about the judging. I thought I won the fight. I thought I pulled through in the second and the third, and I really, overcame that first round. But at the end of the day, it's like you can't cry over it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I got to do more. I realized where I could have done more in that fight, and that was what I've been focused on now. So making sure that nobody steals a decision from me or I leave it to a close fight. I left that fight too close. So that's how I took it. Um, I didn't sit around and feel sorry for myself and be like, oh man, I should have won. I really just got back to work, made a lot of changes, and yeah, so that's where I'm at now.
And I imagine that's when you'd like to get back. The PFL season might actually lend itself to that. You could be seeing her in a couple months' time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an interesting. It was interesting when I saw the matchups and who's fighting each other, and it's super exciting. And um, I'm kind of excited that I got this fight first. It's like let's do this right away. I know everybody's underestimating me. Extra motivation. Like I was reading comments on, something she was posting. I don't know what site it was, but oh yeah, I'm just not the same fighter I was after Cyborg and this and that. And it was like kind of that extra fuel that I needed going forward. I was like, okay, I'm going to show everybody that I'm better than I was when I fought her, that I'm more motivated and just kind of getting my groove back. And that's what yeah, excited to show.
You mentioned the matchmaking there, and I'm kind of wondering, do you think this is a case where the promotion realized we got to make this fight to make sure it happens? Because I feel like you versus Kayla was a fight everyone wanted. We didn't get it. Honestly, Sarah Coffin versus Kayla back in the day was a fight we wanted. We didn't get it. It feels like the promotion is making sure this happens this time.
Yeah, I kind of looked at everybody's records and I was like, this is the fight that makes the most sense. Most experienced girls, two champions. Let's do it. Let's do this. Let's do it right off the bat. I've had an excellent training camp. I did all the work. Like I said, I was extremely disciplined. Uh, and I feel like I got a fantastic game plan for this, and I look forward to just setting Dean Nicole-Main in that first round. It's like I couldn't ask for anything better than this.
Absolutely. Well, I'm looking forward to this fight a whole bunch. I've got the obligatory I'm a Canadian, you're a Canadian question here. We
Yeah.
haven't seen the PFL in Canada. We've got a Canadian champ in OAM. We've got yourself. Have you talked to, it's more of a question for the promotion, but have you talked to them at all about, hey, let's get a show up north of the border?
I haven't yet, but I will for sure. And I imagine they must be thinking about it, especially now that he was the champ last year. And yeah, I mean, it only makes sense.
Well, let's do it. They did the UK with Brendan Loughnane, and I think it's Canada's turn. Um, Before I let you go, and again, I appreciate the time today. Just give me a prediction for this fight and kind of how overall you want to see this season play out. Are there any names that you hope to meet, and who do you predict you might see down the line in the finals?
I can't give you a prediction. Like I'm so focused on this fight. I just know that my hands will be raised. That's it. I'll be working every second of that fight to make sure that I come out victorious. But yeah, I can't really say anything past that. I'm excited about all the matchups, and it's one step at a time. That's one thing that I learned last year and being a part of the season format. It's like you just stay like completely focused on that one step ahead, or you look past, the people that are right ahead of you. So that's where I'm at.
All right. Well, fair enough. The next fight is the biggest fight. The biggest fight comes April 7th, PFL 2. Julia Budd, thanks very much for the time today.
Thank you.
Best of luck. Take care.